Hello everybody, welcome back to the next gameplay video for Resident Evil HD Remake, Remaster. I've got one thing I want to cover real quick. I don't want to go into too much detail here because I've already made an explanation that I've provided for you guys, but in the beginning of the first gameplay video I had an issue where I had Jill's knife and Chris's knife, and I've determined it's due to the trainer. But I'm not going to go into all the details here. I'll just tell you that I have added into the modding and the gameplay, the first gameplay video, in the description of both of those videos, I provide the fix for the double knives problem. Because I'm sure other people are probably going to experience it too. So please reference the modding video or the first gameplay video and look at the description and you'll see how to resolve that. So we're going to get going here. Check my inventory. It's been about a week since I've recorded or played this. Just due to not feeling well enough and being tired and whatnot. I haven't been able to get to it or feel that I would be able to play well enough to make it worth recording. But we're back into it now. So it's going to take me just a bit to recalibrate with the controls. I know where we are and what we're supposed to be doing though. So the first thing we're going to do is dump our ink ribbons. I do remember that I started organizing my inventory. I'm going to put that down here. Let me see what we're going to need. So yeah, here's the two knives. This is Jill's knife and this is Chris's. So technically not supposed to have that. But I'm not using it anyway. Not even using her knife, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, the gun's equipped. Max 15 rounds. Don't need the lighter, I don't think. We do need this music score. There's a second page. That's the first one. We've got 2 of the 4 death masks that we need to use in the catacombs on the outside of the mansion. So that's it. We still have the armor key and the sword key. Let me bring up my stuff here. So I explained to you guys about the double knife thing. I'm just making sure I got all my stuff open, which I don't. So let me get all that open real quick. Just got to open some bookmarks, the maps that I provided you guys. I'm referencing that too. And then I'm also keeping the, not that I really need it, but I'm keeping the IGN guide reference available here so that I can keep track of where I am in the playthrough, just as a reference. So we got that going. Okay, we're good to go here. So we basically need to head back to where the typewriter is down there. That's where we're the dining room. And I need to re-equip her gun. So I managed to unequip it. Okay, so I think the quickest way would be this way. Shit. Shit. Luckily that worked out. Okay, good. This is where we want to be. Okay, so in the beginning of the game, I told you to not pick this item up. This is when you need to pick this item up. Because we need it now. Will you take the emblem? Yes. Let's take a look at it. Scald, galed, all around the outer edges due to frequent fitting. Being put in something and taken out. I think that's galed. I think that's how you say that. So, just an emblem, like a shield. I think it has some writing on it there. I don't know what that says. Okay. I think we can solve this now, too. Maybe we could have solved it earlier. I just didn't do it yet. A picture of two knights striking each other. The short sword has been thrust into the breast of one knight, while the long sword has pierced the head of the other. So this is dictating the hands of the clock. Your short hand, hour hand, and your long hand, minute hand. And you're basically supposed to try to match the positioning from what I remember. So that's close to like 345 or 350 or something maybe. I didn't read that. Let me read it. When the two have run each other through, the path to your destiny will open. It's not letting me interact with it yet. Thought you could interact with this whenever you wanted to. Huh. Okay. Okay, I guess we can't solve it just yet. So let's continue on here. All right, now we're gonna head down here. Oh gosh, he's trying to come through on me. You use the armor key. So let's go check this out. Okay, what we got here? There's something written in the corner of the picture. Didn't start my timer, as I naturally don't. So I'm going to assume that's been about 5 minutes. Start it now. Commemorating the completion of the mansion. Okay, so that's the mansion. Looks like there's a picture over here too, but she won't comment on it. Okay. A wooden counter made of oak. It gives off a pleasant aroma like fine wine. Some more ink ribbons. You always get a stack of 3 when you pick up, at least on easy mode. You always get a stack of 3 when you pick them up. So now you can see why we need the sheet music. An expensive looking grand piano. Let's continue on looking. Oh. Shelf we can push. Can you push it this way? Yeah, you can. And then here is the other piece of the sheet music. Musical score, it's titled Moonlight Sonata. Can you not look at it further? Ah, there you go. Open it up. A section of the music is missing, leaving only the beginning and the end of the music. So you want to take your missing sheet, combine it with this, and then now we have sheet music. It's titled Moonlight Sonata. Let's open it again. The complete musical score of the Moonlight Sonata. So in Jill's case, she is already talented at playing piano, so she doesn't have much of an issue once she finds the items, but Chris will have a different outcome when he gets to this point in his playthrough where he will have to utilize the piano, and you'll see what that difference is when we play Chris. I won't spoil it. So let's interact with this. And we want to use the sheet music. Very nice. Excuse me. It's a secret passage. Excuse me. Trevor's diary. November 24th, 1967. 11 days have passed since arriving on this estate. How did I end up like this? A guy in a lab coat brought me a meager plate of food and said, "Sorry to put you through this, but it's for security reasons." That's when it hit me. It all makes sense now. There are only two people that know the secret of this mansion, Sir Spencer and myself. If they kill me, Sir Spencer will be the only person that knows the secret. But for what purpose? It doesn't matter now. It's too dangerous here. My family, I hope they are all right. I've decided to escape. Jessica, Lisa, I pray you are safe. November 26, 1967. How could I be so careless? I lost my favorite lighter, the one Jessica gave me for my birthday. Now it's going to be that much harder to escape this dark place. The lighter we now have that Chris starts with somehow. November 13th, the date when my fate was sealed. My aunt was hospitalized just 3 days before that. Jessica and Lisa said that they were going to visit her. I wish I could be there with them. But wait, even as I'm writing, my memory is coming back to me more vividly. Just before I passed out, I remember the men in the lab coat said something like, "Most likely your family is already. I pray for their safety." November 27, 1967. Somehow I managed to get out of that room, but getting out of this mansion won't be as easy. I hope to get past all the booby traps, tiger eyes, gold emblem. I have to try and remember for my own sake. Tiger eyes being that gem, the blue gem we put in to get, I think, shotgun shells, and then the gold emblem, which we are getting right now. Hence the reason why we needed the other one. Will you take the gold emblem? So just like when you take that key, it's one of the two we have in our inventory, you trigger a trap, basically. So you can pick it up and take it, but then you're stuck in here. So you've either got to put the gold one back in and go find this one, or you need to use this one to get back out. Let's look at this one. Gold emblem, it's scaled all around the outer edges due to frequent fitting. So it says the same thing. So we want to use the one we got above the fireplace. It's basically the fake one. They didn't hide it very far in the mansion, to be utilized over here. You just needed to find the sheet music and then go find that out in the dining room. So let's check the map. So this room is flashing green is explored, so everything is collected in here. The dining room is still calling it brown, tan, whatever, cardboard box color. We have to mess with that clock out there. That's a little puzzle. And we'll get something from doing that, and then that'll clear that room. I'm noticing that little room above us that's brown. I think that is where that tiger statue is. And there's still a yellow gem. Possibly even a red one too, but I think at least another one that we can put in there to get another item. So that's why that's not colored in yet. This is the first floor. Everything else, I'd have to reference my key maps to see if there's any of those red doors that are unlockable. The door with the red and the X, that's the room where the ceiling came down to crush us when we got the shotgun in the other room. You can't go back in that room. Once that cutscene happens with Barry. Everything else except for, I can't point it out because there's, oh, I can. It lets me use the cursor. This room right here is where the tiger is, tiger statue. And then this is another point that leads further outside. And we need something here. I don't remember exactly what room that is. Second floor. Got more red doors. Here's one that's unlocked, but we haven't walked through it, I guess, is what that's implying. Which would make sense, because the only way into there would be through here. Well, no, that's not true. You can come to it from here, so we'll have to check all of these. I mean, I'm gonna clear all the rooms. I'm just getting an idea of what's left to explore. Basement, and then there's 3 floors. Okay. Now, did that zombie come through that was beating on the door out here? He's still trying. So I want to specify with you guys too, I've already said it before, that I'm playing these games like I've never played it, you've never played it, nobody's ever seen it on YouTube, you know. I know this is an old game and it's Resident Evil, and gamers watching this, you know, are going to know what's going on, and it's going to seem kind of lame, but you have to understand my intention for doing it the way I'm doing it. It's not because I don't think you people know this stuff, or that I know more than you, or anything like that. I'm catering to people that don't know as much about the series or whatnot. Like, I have an older sister, and she's, I would consider her a casual gamer. I'm not saying that to be mean or saying she's not good at games or doesn't play cool games. She's just a casual gamer. But she's played, I've introduced her to a lot of horror games, but she's into horror stuff anyway. She loves black and skulls and rock music, so. But I gave her the Outlast, you know, box set thing that has all Outlast games. She's played all of those. She's played Alien Isolation. She's played all the Dead Space games. She's played, getting to my point here, she's only played Resident Evil 7. She doesn't know anything about the previous games or anything even after 7, which would be 8, Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. You know how 7 was. Anybody that's played it knows how big of a deal that was, and how much of a risk they were taking to a degree, and it was a reboot. I mean, Resident Evil 5 was not that great of a game. It was better with somebody to play with instead of relying on Sheena, I think was her name. I'm gonna look that up because I hate, even if I say it wrong, it's like I feel like I want to correct myself. Resident Evil 5. Shiva. I was close. Not Sheena. Shiva. You play as Chris, and you either have Shiva controlled by the computer, or if you have a second player, you can play together, which I'm sure makes it awesome. But I've only played Resident Evil 5 once. I've seen a few people play through it on YouTube. I've only played through it once, and I was using computer-controlled Shiva. And it was a passable, playable game, but definitely not one of the best Resident Evil games. 6 I haven't played yet. I intend to for the first time on this channel. I'll probably break down and play every character that you can play in that one. But 7 was the reboot of the series and trying to bring it back into popularity. And it did, and it introduced a lot of new people to the series for sure, including my sister. I think in normal mode there's a zombie laying on the ground here. There's an elevator here. It doesn't look like you can access it from this floor. Okay, yeah, I should have gone this way earlier, but I forgot. Use the sword key. I might not have had the sword key anyway. Okay, good. We're getting rid of the sword key. So when you utilize a specialized key and you've opened all the doors, luckily, your character tells you there's no use for it anymore. And you still get the choice to keep it, but there's no need to keep it unless you just want to have everything that you can possibly get in the game and put it in your item box. So I'm just going to get rid of it. So then you immediately free up a space, which is nice. And I'm drawing a blank right now as to where you actually use the gold emblem. I know we're going to run into it. It's just off the top of my head. I can't remember. I'm familiar with this game, but I'm not familiar with this game, if that makes any sense. There's a knife and a handgun ammo there. Piece of meat from an unidentified source. It's probably people. This dagger is always hard to pick up. Can't pick it up from that corner. And if you're not facing the exact pixel perfect, it's really hard to judge. Well, that's why I wasn't in the right camera angle, so ignore all that. You take the dagger. If you're over here and you're fighting with it, step forward a little bit more. That is a huge ass pot. Man, who knows what's in that? More ammo. The dishes are crawling with maggots. The dishes are crawling with maggots. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to rush through these games. I'm playing it like nobody knows what this is, and I'm trying to impart all of my knowledge I do have, whether it's gameplay, history, whatever about the game, technical. The dishes are crawling with maggots. A pile of meat. She's not going to talk about that huge cauldron on the table. A bunch of spices you've never seen before. It's locked from the other side. Yeah. So yeah, you can and should come down here at the beginning of the game. You're going to have to deal, even on easy mode, definitely on normal, you might even have to deal with 2, I forget, but you're going to have to kill at least 1 zombie to even get down here because he's in the hallway at the beginning. Not that one that was trying to bust through, but there's one literally already in the hallway. As soon as you encounter the turning around zombie at the beginning, he's already there and waiting for you if you decide to go the other way. But if you can get down here, you can get that knife and you can get some more ammo. I don't think there's anything over here. There's a dead body here. Maybe that's the dead body I was thinking that was out there. I wish I had my lighter and fuel. I'd go ahead and light him up because we're going to be utilizing this elevator at some point. Power doesn't seem to turn on. And either coming or going through it, we're going to have to deal with him on the way out or in, and he'll probably turn into a frickin' Crimson Head when he gets up. So you don't have to kill this dude. It's just a run-of-the-mill zombie. But you can mess around with him. Just keep some distance and keep this table between you. Don't play around too much, man. They'll grab you. Where's he coming? He's coming the other way. I was going to run that back. I still could. I was going to run back down in here and light up the other dude. But now he's in here. I think as long as you haven't shot them or downed them at least once or messed with them, I don't think he'll turn into a Crimson Head. He'll just stay a regular zombie, I think. Don't quote me on that. Okay. dude gonna bust out? Yep. Now he's in there. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the video here, but I'm going to determine... We need to go check some more doors in here, is what we need to do, because I still have this armor key. I'm looking at my, trying to look at my armor key map and see where the other armor key door is that I need to access. Okay, let's look at the map. So, armor key doors on the first floor. That's one. And we've obviously been in there. This is another, which we just went in. That's where the piano was. And then there's one right here to get us in here, which I already know what that is now. I know where that is, and that's definitely a location we need to head to. I'm trying to figure out how I want to get there. This room has dogs. I think I killed them both, though, so I can just run across here, up here, loop around. What about that door? That door is locked too. It's probably another... Let's see if I can just see what key opens that door. Just bear with me. Just enjoy the beautiful sounds of the ticking clock. I don't know what key goes to that door. It's obviously openable. I'm not seeing... I'm not seeing on these maps here. First floor, first floor. Huh. Well, I guess we'll figure that out in due time, but I don't see... That'd be a good place to head anyway right now, because there is a typewriter that we can end the video at up there, and I can save. And then when we start the next video, we'll be right there, ready to head into that place. So let's... We've got about 4 minutes left here. Let's make our way over there. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of the textures, if you think they look any better, because I am using that texture upscaling mod. I am using reshade as well, though, so all of these things, DPX, Technicolor 2, Vibrance, Curves, Tone Map, SMAA, that's for anti-aliasing. I am using that in conjunction with all that. Let me get into this room. Dude's still over there, isn't he? Yeah, he's still over there. I mean, the coloring in this game is kind of weird anyway. It's kind of a... I don't know how to describe it. It's not film noir, or what do they call it? It's not black and white. It's just the colors are really muted on purpose, I guess. I mean, obviously Jill's outfit really stands out, but her actual outfit is actually really gray. I think this was the original color tone, or the prototype color. It was more of a blue, and my favorite color is blue, so I'm using the blue. It's going to show you here a little with reshade. So right now it's active. You can see it's on the performance mode. It's active. So let me turn this off, and then when I say I'm pressing the button now, it's going to go back to normal. So I'm pressing the button now. So this is normal. You know, obviously still the upgraded textures, but no color adjustments or anything. And then when I press the button now, that's with reshade. So normal, on, normal, on. But if you look, it's kind of hard to tell. There's like kind of a bluish tinge to everything, and horror games are known for doing that, especially older ones. You know, some people may prefer this better and think it looks better, and maybe it does. This obviously darkens things, I'm aware of that. But I'm trying to naturalize the colors a little better and get rid of some of that blue. The preset I'm using for reshade is actually one from a... I could find it for anybody who's interested. I may in the future as well make a video, just a standalone video on reshade to talk about it, how to use it, what I know about it, maybe learn some new stuff from people watching. But the preset I'm using involves these effects. Display depth is to... I'm not going to get into all that, but display depth makes sure that effects like anti-aliasing are working, and luma sharpening brightens things, but I don't want to brighten. I don't want to brighten anything through reshade. I'm brightening it other places. But all these things, each one, if you uncheck them, let's see, it's not on. Let me turn it back on. You start to see things shift. So, see, it's like that actually brightens, you know, makes it more washed out, but once you have these other settings that darken it, then this becomes useful because then it kind of re-brightens in a way. I'm not saying this is a great profile or the best, but this is from a mod, and I hate to call reshade presets mods because they're not mods, they are presets. The mod is the program reshade. But people on the Nexus that make mods for reshade, or make reshade presets that put them in mods for games on the Nexus, they like to call them mods, but I don't consider the presets mods. But this was a preset somebody made for the game Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, made by the developer FromSoft who makes the Dark Souls series, Elden Ring, whatnot. And I liked how it looked in that game. Obviously, Sekiro is different and way newer, but I liked how it naturalized the colors in that game. So I tend to just use that as a preset in most all of my games, and I adjust it. Like I used this in the game Firewatch I played, but I disabled DPX because it made things too bright. So I still might turn things on or off here. I mean, I always have these off. In general, you use this for editing purposes. That's why it gets all weird like that when you turn it on. I'll show you the proper way that it should look, which it doesn't look proper in either way because this game is too old, so it really doesn't matter. I'd go through this in a video if I ever made it, but I usually always leave this on. This game does have, what is it? I'm way over my video time here, but I don't really care because I'm explaining things that are important. It's not display, it's graphic. It's not quit game. It is display. Oh, that's lovely. You can't even get into the video options when you're actually in the game. You can only get it at the title screen, but I think it uses FXAA times 3 or whatever. And FXAA does help aliasing to a point, but it tends to make all text in a game you're using it in look blurrier. That's my experience. So I don't like to use it if I don't have to. If I don't have to in general, I'll just use SMAA forced through reshade because it doesn't have that side effect. But in the case of this game and the fact it's older, I decided I'll just keep FXAA on in, excuse me, in the game, and I'll also stack SMAA onto it. Plus I'm using a mod that makes all the text in the game look sharper and cleaner anyway, so it will compensate for probably whatever FXAA is doing to it. So I don't use reshade in every game, but I use it in most games, especially games with high graphic fidelity like this. Like if I'm playing, you know, freaking Mega Man 2 on the NES emulated, you know, I'm not going to use reshade at all. And I don't use reshade in my American Truck videos, but anyway. So we were heading to... This is a bad place to come through, now that I think about it. What other way? I have to go to the second floor, which is totally feasible. Crapola! So, if we want to be safe, and since I've already cleared this hallway, they put you in these choke points where if you want to keep going back through a way that's quick, they make you have to deal with enemies at some point. But I don't want to deal with what's in there because I think there's like 3 or 4 zombies that are going to bust through windows because like you can hear them knocking in there, and I don't want to deal with them, so I'd rather take the long way that's probably safer or already cleared. Okay, just gotta make sure. Yeah, we want to go through here and go to the stairs. Everything should be dead in here, I think. So, Richard's still in here, laying on the floor. Yep. He's apparently better, but not better enough to get up and leave. This way. Yeah, I've killed everything out here, so... Alright, we're gonna go... show you on the mouse here. We're gonna go through here and save. And we start the next video, we'll come out, go through here, and then we'll check that door. But then we'll also use our key to open up this door to an area we haven't been. Yep. So let's check our inventory. Crud, I'm not sure. I'm gonna save here anyway. Keep those. We're gonna dump these because I have a full gun clip. Man, let's go to a stack of 100, I guess. I'll hold on to that. I just can't remember right now, like what that is used for. And then we go save, and then we'll call the video. And you're gonna still hear the stutter in my music here because I'm using my extended mod edit that's in my modding video description to extend this song 10 minutes, and it's got a glitch that I can't seem to address yet, but it's not terrible, so I'm letting it go. And it's only doing it in this track. It's not doing it in any of the custom songs I did, or that the original modder did for his mod that I edited, I should say. I think you only get 8 save slots, so we're going to have to start overwriting the next time we save, but I've been keeping, and I'd recommended this to anybody who's new to making YouTube videos like this that last 25, 30, videos long, is when you have the ability to make new saves and critical transitions in the game, do it. Don't just overwrite your original save and just have one save that you keep overwriting. Make new saves, because if anything happens you see later in a video you need to go back further than you thought you would, you have the ability to go back and play through a small chunk of the game again to fix your video that you've already made. And if any of these get corrupted somehow, stuff just gets corrupted, then you'll have, 8 8 options to fall back on instead of one. Highly, highly recommend that you do that. It's for your own good that you do that. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching this and listening to my normal banter of talking too much, which I don't think I'll ever not do. This is your time to talk if you want to talk, I guess, is when you're making videos about the games you enjoy playing. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.